Alto photographer based in Tokyo. So if there was an area that I would want to photograph before I leave this world, it would probably be Hatoya Hotel. And interesting enough, Hatoya Hotel is located in Ito Onsen area, which is located in Shizuoka Prefecture. And for people who do not know, Shizuoka Prefecture is the state below Tokyo. Actually, the state below Tokyo is Kanagawa Prefecture, and it's basically the state below that. And what's significant about this hotel, Hatoya Hotel, is that ever since it was founded in 1947, if I'm right, this hotel prospered as being the sort of like the getaway for corporate trips. Actually, back in those eras. There were a lot of corporate, aka company trips, that if you worked in a specific company, you were forced to go on to these trips. And along these trips, obviously there was a photographer that tagged along. And if you guys probably do not know, the GW690 was actually one of the most used cameras for those excursions of like company trips and also field trips actually. So I thought it would be nice to just go down there and just shoot some photos. And at the same time, I was looking back at my fridge. I realized I still had Pro 400H, and I kind of wondered when to use it. And I realized that I should actually document this sort of like area in particular with the Pro 400H, because this hotel specifically has this retro kind of feel. What's ironic about this location in particular of Ito is a lot, like 95% of you guys who watch my YouTube channel are from outside Japan, and majority of you guys do not know, but Ito is actually 5-6 stations away from Atami Station, which where the Shinkansen stops, and that station is actually bombarded by so many tourists right now. I would not recommend going there. But Ito, on the other hand, is completely isolated. There's less people, it's less crowded, and it matches my anti-socialness of and my style of like photographing photos for you guys. And also, this Hatoya Hotel is actually located on a cliff, and there is sort of like a shuttle bus that goes to the hotel. And I would not recommend walking to this hotel because it is sort of like on an inclination of like 10%, 20%. So if you're into hiking, this hotel is great if you want to go back to the hotel from the station. But honestly, I highly suggest riding the bus, the shuttle bus, because you will be sweating like a little kid during the summer season. So went off topic. The first day, I basically photographed towards the city area actually, which I'm making a video on. However, I basically came back on the first day due to the fact that it was like really cloudy, and you guys probably know photographing using film during a cloudy day or a rainy day, I don't get great results from my overall like experience. I just wanted to gamble on the second day that it would hopefully be sunny and I'll get the results that I'm looking for. And I basically had a can of beer and tried to recreate the famous painting of creation of atoms, Pro 400H version. Didn't know if I think I failed, unfortunately. Ito is known for its like hot springs, similar to Atami. If you guys have ever gone there, the what you call the underwater way is actually filled with hot water. So during, especially in the early mornings during the cool season, there's like hot vapors coming from these like pipelines, and I wouldn't recommend like standing on top of it because it feels wrong in a sense, but it has that characteristics. And also compared to Atami, without it sort of like grazed the surface earlier, Atami, like I said, is a station, a major hub for the Shinkansen. So the majority of tourists go there, and right now it's like bombarded by so many people. But Ito, on the other hand, because it is far more remote, thus there's less people traveling to that location, and year by year, less and less people are actually traveling to here. It's a getaway for someone like me who is antisocial, who likes to like be away from the socially crowded neighborhood. This was actually a perfect location to photograph silently. So yeah, it was like a really great experience, like photographing this area in particular. In addition to shooting during the day, I actually did photograph at night, but this is just my subjective and a sort of like biased opinion. But photographing these types of hotels, retro hotels that doesn't use LED but more like incandescent light, and I guess like more reds and stuff like that, I would highly suggest shooting or photographing with Cinestill 800T or any kind of tungsten based film stocks rather than the Pro 400H, because to me it seems to me that the Pro 400H seemed a little bit lackluster in a sense, that I guess the colors and the tonality would do perfectly much better during the day than at night, compared to like using something like Cinestill 800T, which has punchier, more contrastier look. This is just my biased opinion, but I did photograph the hotel. But like I said, because the hotel's on an inclination, the road around it is actually significantly below where the hotel is located. It was actually painful to sort of like have my tripod leveled, because one of the legs is actually shorter and the other two legs is actually longer, because I could not get it leveled, and also because there's less light, which means that the exposure is going to be super long, like 15 seconds, 30 seconds. That was actually one of the like problems that I was hitting doing these long exposures. And because there was not much light, there wasn't that much action in my opinion. However, there was a scene where a taxi basically came to the hotel entrance and basically grabbed the shot. Don't know if it's gonna work, but to me, I guess this might be a portfolio worthy shot, while a traveler was getting off the taxi while the door was like flung open, kind of some kind of drama. But pine cones that were in the foreground were kind of a nonsense. I wanted to like move it, but if I did that, I would get kicked out of the hotel, so I did not do that. But I guess it works in a sense. But yeah, that's my only like shot that I think worked in my opinion on the long exposure side of shooting with Pro 400H. Okay, so last but not least, this is the most important thing and a shocking thing that I found out during my trip, is that Hatoya Hotel has a sister hotel located on the coastline, actually called Sang Hatoya. I found this out when I was talking with people who work there, and that was sort of like a slap in the face, which means that I will have to visit there again. The Hatoya Hotel that I went to is a sort of like a mountainous region kind of theme in my opinion, but there's a sister hotel called Sang Hatoya, which is on the coastline. It has a coast ocean like theme, so yeah, I will need to dedicate some time to revisit that location and photograph on that side, because like I said, this Ito location in particular has the coastline and also the mountainous region similar to Atami, so there's a lot of areas to actually photograph around this area. So yeah, that's actually something that I found out during my trip, so hopefully I can revisit that area and photograph it for you guys. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this video, found it informative, and hopefully the people at the Hatoya will watch my video, appreciate the photos that I've taken. And at the same time, it's like something that we have to like take into account for, because in Japan, this hotel is probably the most famous hotel in the region, and it has served the Japanese prosperity going forward, economic development in that back in the 1960s to the 70s, 80s. A lot of people visited this area, especially a lot of my colleagues, and also at my workplace. Actually, people actually went to this hotel back in the days. So yeah, Hopefully some people will watch my video, and if you guys are interested, might visit sometime in the future. But we do not know when these hotels might one day stop operating, so I thought it would be nice to just photograph and document it for you guys. So yeah, that's it on my coverage of Hatoya Hotel. If you guys enjoy this video, find informative, please like this button, and yeah, leave a comment in the section below. I'm happy to reply. And yeah, we'll see you next time. Peace out.